me isn't level. So if my husband Jeff ends up watching this, it's going to drive him insane to see that it's at an angle there and there. Oh boy, does that drive him crazy. So today we're talking about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case. And maybe I'll just be really, really fast. You're not too early, Amy. You're exactly on time. I just started. Don't know if I should go really, really fast because I believe they are scheduled to come case. And now it's telling me my connection is unstable. Please wait while we try reconnecting. So hopefully people are still here and hearing me. Let me start out by saying on this to it, assuming we're never supposed to assume. And those of us who advocate for the wrongfully accused, hey, Debbie, know all the facts and don't just go off, hey, girl, hey, and hey, ho, Jay, and Andrea. The connection is glitchy. Yeah. Okay. And now Christopher tells me it will sort itself out. So we're going to just keep plowing ahead here. Because of Kathleen Zellner's one time being on the case and then Johnny's like guilty because, Kathleen has said she's somebody that is guilty. She doesn't have to, not going to. She did it once. She regrets it. Not going to do it again. So by her leaving the case, I'm like, okay, she uncovered something. But now, as I've been watching Debbie number 2, I am firmly Team Johnny. And when I visited Melissa Kaluzinski on Monday, and we'll talk about that at the end, but we were talking about this and the fact that Kathleen left. The thing that we figure at this point is I highly doubt Johnny Depp will win this case. A death slander suit is very hard. And that's why typically only rich people can sue for that because it's going to cost a whole lot of money and you have to show monetary damages and all this stuff. And used to settle. And then that's when she left the case. So there's no reason for her to be on this case. She's got enough on her plate. So she just left it in the original people's hands. I think, and I'm not the only one that thinks this, I know I've seen other people post it, that Johnny knows he's got a good chance of, but I don't think that is why he is doing this. He's doing it to win back his reputation. Because Amber was able to surf that whole Me Too movement. And you get feminists and abused, battered women who are just instantly going to side with the woman. And I consider myself a feminist, but by case basis, I'm not going to just automatically believe a woman and I'm not going to automatically believe the man. I need to see the proof. And I don't like when a feminist or whatever will say, oh, well, this is why abused women won't come forward because nobody believes them. No, don't put the blame on me or any other people who are going to be Team Johnny in this. You put the blame on Amber. She is why women don't want to come forward because it's people like her that is lying that makes women coming forward Why would Johnny Depp fight for this to be? He needs this to go out and for people to see this bullshit. I did not follow the case when it was, where was it? In France or whatever the original one was that Johnny lost. I didn't follow that at all. I know we would see stuff in the news. Sorry that it keeps buffering. Because quite frankly, I didn't care. Let me read. Did y'all catch the part where JD is being questioned about a box he put his Coke in? He responds back with something like, it could fit some Coke. He made the courtroom laugh, made it funnier. I think Johnny is doing way better than I ever expected him to do. And when Amber's attorney was being a dick, I didn't mind the things that um, Johnny said back. That was kind of snippy. That people would say, people that are against Johnny is like, oh, he's got an attitude or whatever. And it's like, no, I get it. Um, when I got divorced and had to be on the stand, I mean, my ex-husband's attorney, the first thing he said to me is, you have a hard time telling the truth, don't you, Mrs. West? Or Ms. West. He's not calling me Mrs. since it was a divorce. Because see, I was instructed by my attorney that you only answer quite real questions. And so there were several times when he would state, my ex's divorce lawyer would state things as fact, like I see Amber's attorney doing, the woman attorney that's been doing the last couple days, stating something as fact and then just ending it with, isn't it? To make it a question, which if the other side had done that, because she's the one that I constantly hear going, objection leading, objection leading. Well, everything she says when it's like, Johnny's a big piece of shit, isn't he? It's like everything she says is leading. Three Debbie's. Um, so in court, he kept saying things like that, and I didn't answer. I just sat there silent. And then he's like, "You got nothing to say?" Question, and then it pissed him off. But so I get Johnny's little snippiness when he was in there, and I found it funny, and I didn't look at it bad at all. Andrea, yeah, when Amber's lawyer called objection hearsay to his own question, it's just ridiculous. And then the guy today, what I was running an errand, so I missed part of it because see that playing it in my car while I'm driving to places and stuff. Driving home from the prison on Monday, I'm listening to court. Driving to just go run an errand, I'm listening to court. So I missed who he was that works at the apartment building or the penthouse building or whatever you want to call it. Was he the security guy or whatever? And he's just like, I don't remember. I don't care. Nope, nope, nope. That guy was funny. And then the camera would show Johnny Depp laughing at it because it is all kinds. This is all kinds of ridiculous. And um, my husband case at all, but it is really hard to get away from it, right? Because it's everywhere. So my husband had messaged me one day, and he's like, video of Johnny Depp beating up some cabinets. And it's like there's all kinds of video. You're not seeing how Amber is setting up the cell phone and um um film him. And so this is first thing in the morning and Johnny Depp is slamming cabinets and as she's poking him. What are you so upset about? We didn't fight. Let me adjust the camera. It's not in the right angle. And then he pours glass of wine. And they're trying to use that like it's something against him. Well, what they didn't tell you is Johnny had just learned his mother died. So he's a little angry. He's a little upset. Is it the most adult thing to slam cabinets because you just found out your mother died? No, I don't care that he was slamming cabinets. Um, Gaslights him. Exactly, Andrea. So much gaslighting. It is sickening. The audio we listened to where she's like, I didn't punch you, I hit you. I didn't cold cock you, I hit you. I don't care if it's closed fist or open fist. Either are abuse. And then when she's saying that, yeah, go ahead and tell the world Mr. Johnny Depp is um, being abused, trying to make it out like he'd be a big pussy. Because I'm sure there's plenty of men who are abused by women who don't want to come forward because they don't want to look like they're being beat up by a woman. Men, never be ashamed of that, because I don't like this crap where women think they can get away with hitting a man because the man can't hit her back. That doesn't make, and women who hit their men who are watching, that doesn't make you tough. That you hit this guy who's not going to hit you back and going to hit you back. And so that's what she does with Johnny. She knows all he's going to do is try to get away from her. We hear he's trying to lock himself in a bathroom to get away from her. Yeah, I know. My sorry, Shelly. I guess my service today is really bad. Um he's removing himself from a volatile situation. That's how you de-escalate, diffuse, whatever word you want to use. Johnny's doing it right. Is Johnny perfect? No, he's an addict. Has a temper. Zero evidence. I know we haven't seen her side yet, but so far, zero evidence that she has done anything to him. I see nothing. Her makeup, where she said that, oh, well, you're not seeing any bruises because she's got this X makeup on. And so this was last Friday, and the actual makeup company goes to court to show and brings the evidence that this makeup didn't exist at that time. Lie. Then you have a friend that was sitting in the front row, and what she did. This is right when I first started watching the trial. So I'm not sure who the woman was that was testifying. But she was a friend of Johnny's, but I'm sure she also had some kind of business relationship with him or whatever. And so then at the end of her testimony, um, the judge then asked her social media, and the girl was honest and said something about it's everywhere. I don't know what, I don't recall what she said. And so then instantly they were saying, and the judge was telling the jury that they're throwing this witness out and they have to dismiss everything she just said. Well, what had really happened was Amber's girlfriend is sitting in the front row. I think it was on TMZ. And I know that it's a rag, but TMZ does get stuff that's real too. Um, and this is video. So you can see the video of the girl in the front row, and she's on her phone. Now, I don't know if any of you guys have ever been to court, but every time I've gone to court, I mean, some courts you can't even bring your cell phone in. And every other courtroom, your phone has to be turned off. Use your cell phone. So even when you're sitting there forever waiting because the judge hasn't come out or whatever, you're not. So here it is. You can friend while court in session is on her phone typing. So what she did was she went to that witness's Twitter page. And now remember, this went to court 2 years ago or whatever. And so when she goes back the 2 years on that girl's Twitter page, she's got a tweet about the case. She screenshots it and then she edited the date to make it had made that tweet that day while she's in court. So then Johnny Depp's lawyers demanded that Amber's girlfriend be removed from the courtroom and barred. So now that girlfriend's not allowed in there. But and they show her too, showing her cell phone to the guy attorney that was the dick to Johnny Depp the whole time, because he was the one sitting in front of her. And so that guy's not saying anything about this. And you can go on that girl's Twitter and you can see she's live tweeting throughout the trial while she's sitting there when your phone's supposed to be off. So now that's another lie that Amber didn't do, but it's just showing me everything I need to know right there by what we're hearing from everybody who's testifying about Amber and then who she surrounds herself with. I just see nothing. And maybe she can change my mind when she gets on the stand. I don't know. Let me read. Zellner is no longer a part of the case. Zellner left the case. Zellner did two depositions, and then she advised Johnny Depp to settle, and he said no, and she left the case. Andrea, her lawyer showed a makeup compact saying Amber carried it in her purse the entire time they were together to cover her bruises from Johnny. The makeup didn't exist until a year after they divorced. Liar. And especially this woman attorney says I'm unstable again, so I don't know if I'm still here, but I'm going to just keep talking. This woman attorney, I don't like this woman at all. She seems like a total asshole. I don't know what you all think of this woman, but I really don't like her. And anytime then Johnny's side objects to anything she says, the woman then like argues with the judge. Well, how do you know that's hearsay? And then the judge seems to a lot of times just, I don't know, is she scared? Since the Amber's attorneys like bullying her, so she just says, you know, overruled or whatever. Um, so I don't like her attorney. Um, Paul Bettany. I see is on the witness list. So it'll be interesting what happens when he's on there. I have a bad mouth. We all know, on Facebook when I do lives on there, I really try not to swear because Facebook's a bunch of assholes. So I have to I use Smurf instead of the swear. My husband made me this Smurf. Um I have a potty mouth. It's really hard to offend me with language. Um Johnny Depp referring to Amber as, and I'll censor this even though because I know this is the really bad one that most people don't like, and I'll say it, but I'll censor it here. The C word. Um, I'm not bothered by that. They fight. It was contentious. He calls her the C word. He was calling her the C word to his buddy. Um, talking about killing her and burning her and raping the body. It's stupid. And I'm not going to do the boys will be boys because I hate when people do that. Like boys are allowed to do something girls can't because girls behave like that too. So people will be people and will say dumb, mean things. Um, I'm somebody in when times are tough, I'm going to make an inappropriate joke because laughter is the best medicine. So sometimes if you're able to make light of something in a weird, what some would think is cruel way, can help you get through it. So, um, and then Johnny talked about how much of an asshole Amber was to Paul Bettany's son because Amber had to be a know-it-all and made the kid cry. So I'm going to be interested when Paul Bettany takes a stand. Um, Officer Squarehead. Yeah, she wasted a whole they're coming back now. Okay. She's with Jack's Facebook page and group. Please go over on people to talk to about the case, where we're typing that here on the people are so freaking funny on it where everybody hello Cindy when everybody's making fun of the whole muffin gate with the psychotherapist psychologist, psychotherapist, shrink. I just call them all a shrink. And it's not a slam on them. I have a mental illness. I see a shrink. There's nothing wrong with a shrink, with having a mental illness and getting medicated for it. So I'm not taking shots at that at all. But she was the lawyer just was so into these stupid muffins. And here's what I got out of that. She really wanted it to be like this therapist was bragging to her husband about being a part of this famous case. And since she had said she was running late and her husband had to pick up the muffins, the judge or the lawyer is trying to make it out like, oh yeah, see, so he knew that you were going to be talking to Amber, and it's like, no, I asked him to go get muffins. It happens all the time. I run late all the time, and it seems to be her little thing that they're going to have muffins, but it's like muffins and muffins, muffins, muffins. Um, and then yeah, when you're talking about wasting time, um, the guy from the apartment building or whatever, um, and have you seen her wear mascara? No. When the guy's already said, I'm not paying attention to her makeup. I don't care about her makeup. I don't pay attention to her makeup. It's not what I do. It's not part of my job. So he's already made it known. Have you seen her wear mascara? Nope. Eyeliner? Nope. I mean, she's got to go through every tiny little thing on makeup. Foundation, cover up, it's like, this is stupid. This is stupid, So that guy just cracked, nope, nope, nope. Um, and I miss this too. I don't know, because I was like in and out of the room, so I didn't get the whole context of this story. And there was scratches on the door. And so the guy has to go there and do his job, and he has to go search the whole penthouse or whatever just to make the, rich, spoiled, entitled white girl um feel comfortable or whatever. But he's like, it's 4 inches off the ground. It's from your stupid dog. Just so funny. That guy was funny. um, I'm gonna guess that guy is gonna end up on a nighttime talk show as a guest, on Jimmy Kimmel or something. I said it you heard it here first. They absolutely should bring him in and talk to him because that guy was funny. It's 4 inches off the ground. Who's breaking into your penthouse 4 inches off the ground? Oh my god, that was so funny. Um, and and it's Nothing looked wrong with her. Walked in, and and I love when Amber's lawyers want to try and take some kind, they try to take the pot shots at Johnny or whatever, and then they use the word entourage. It's Amber, and so it's like, which one of the entourage did you talk to? I don't know. There's three girls over there. I don't know which one of them talked to me. Amber's like never alone. And it was yesterday in the questioning. They were questioning the Johnny owns that an island by the Bahamas, or in the Bahamas, or whatever it is. And so talking to that woman who takes care of the place, and it's, oh, well, when was it when you got the call saying who was going to be coming for Christmas? And so it's Johnny, Amber, and then everybody else are Amber people. Amber's sister, Amber's parents, Amber's friend, Amber's makeup people, Amber dress designer, all these people. And then it's like, and when did you find out that Amber's family now weren't going to come? Didn't you think something is odd coming for Christmas? No. Why would you think it's odd that people are not going to go to the Bahamas now for Christmas? Something comes up. It's a holiday, whatever. I don't know all they were trying to push on that. But that doesn't show me anything that Amber's entourage was going to the island and now they're not. I'm sure that stuff happens all the time. And then the questions about Johnny's addictions. His greatest passion is to be a rock star. And then he's just like personifies the tortured artist's soul. So he does drugs and he drinks. Shocker. Oh, look at this picture of him passed out. And he's passed out. Means he's totally incapable of beating a woman. He's passed out over there. The whole thing, semantics for his fingertip being cut off, and for him saying to somebody he cut his fingertip off. Well, but I'll say I cut my hair, even though I went to a salon. Am I supposed to tell you that I went to such and such place and the girl that cut my hair's name was so and so? So he said I cut my fingertip off. Doesn't mean he's the one that cut it off when he's relaying that story to somebody. And then the big mystery around the word monster. Oh, but he said that when he's telling other people, not when he's just talking of Amber, when he had said, Amber came up with the word monster. That's another big no-brainer. People call addiction the monster on your back all the time. It's not so him by saying to somebody else, acknowledging that being addicted to something is a monster, is not meaning he physically abuses the woman, his wife. It's so ludicrous to me. I far and away think that Johnny comes away from this. We'll see what happens when her side gets to. Johnny is the winner, even though I don't expect the court to rule in his favor. I expect them to, and I always hate when jury said they were guilty. That doesn't mean somebody is guilty. Hello, Kyle's. Because I'm preaching to the choir here. You're all here because you all believe people are wrongfully convicted. So, and a jury never gets all the facts. So I never give a shit what a jury says or how a judge rules. If you're not going to consider all the evidence, I know more than you by doing my research. So you may have sat in that courtroom, but every time you get dismissed because they're going to discuss something that they don't want you to know, guess who still gets to hear it? Me. So my opinion matters more than a jury. I declare it so. Andrea says the finger thing. I figured maybe he just said he cut his finger so that he's not placing blame on his abuser. Yeah, because his relationship with his wife is hot and cold. So yeah, I'm sure there's times that he didn't want people to think badly of Amber. So I get you there. Which is typical of victims. You don't want people now to think poorly of the person that. So yeah, I it's it's a nothing thing to me. Everything that her representatives try and throw in there, to me, nothing is making it look like Johnny physically touched her. And of not using a name. So Amber's op-ed not saying Johnny Depp's name. I do that when I'm about somebody and I want to protect myself from being sued, even though you can't be sued if it's the truth, but it doesn't mean somebody won't try and cost you a lot of money. So to protect myself, we use initials or whatever. Um, doesn't mean somebody still won't try to sue you and that people don't know, because a lot of times exactly when I just use an initial. Um, so her op-ed absolutely was pointing, trying to make it look like Johnny abused her. She took her shot and it landed. Johnny lost work. So, and I don't blame Johnny. I don't know if you even call this bitter, but she's the one that goes out to the press to look all um humanitarian, that she's going to donate the $7 million that she got to two different charities. So Johnny's like, okay, check and mate. And he tells his business person to send, because he doesn't have to pay her in one lump sum. My ex has to pay me on the first of every month, and he typically waits till 11:37 p.m. on the first, um, payments. And so then he told his business person, make those payments directly to those two charities. I'll call you in that he's trying to double dip and use it to his advantage by, now that he's made the donation directly to a charity, he can claim it on taxes. So trying to make him look bad. But it's like, no, he's trying to keep you honest. Honest is clearly not a word she knows, but that's what he was trying to do. Um, Kyle's. The jury hasn't heard half of the evidence, like the audio of Dr. Kipper and Nurse Debbie looking for the fingertip and Amber crying and apologizing. If he cut his own finger, apologizing. Bingo. Kyle says she was just as wasted as Johnny was and labbed 2 bottles out of Australia. Mm-hmm. Um, and then Kyle says, look up Amanda D. Cadenet or Cadenet. I don't know how you pronounce it. Sorry. Domestic violence advocate who supported Amber and had her do PSAs against domestic violence. Then Amanda heard the audio of Amber screeching and admitting to hitting him. She then rescinded her support. Oh, um, I'm watching on YouTube. I had been originally watching on Court TV, but Court TV is censoring the, and not that it's like, oh, I have to hear foul language, but they bleep, or they're not bleeping, but they make it silent for so long. I think I'm missing other stuff. So I can watch YouTube on my TV. And so then I just search on YouTube the Johnny Depp trial. And I've been watching, even though I don't like this channel, because I believe the guy that does this channel believes Stephen is guilty. But it's that, what is it called? Crime and Punishment channel or something like that. Thank you, Kyle's. Um, so that's where I've been watching it every day. And then, so like even in my car, I've got the YouTube going on my phone and going through my car. um, USA Today channel. So, cause yeah, I didn't want anything the language censored in case, cause it's not simply just bleeping one word, so that's been the easiest way for me is to find it or to watch it on that Crime and Punishment or something like that it's called. But their YouTube pages will list it as, so like today it's titled day 10, live day 10 coverage. So that's yeah. And I'm watching it the entire time available. I am obsessed. Didn't think I would be. And like I said at the beginning of this, since Kathleen's, I assumed I would think Johnny Depp was guilty. I do not think Johnny Depp is guilty. Um, and I'm not Team Johnny because I'm like a big fangirl, even though, I mean, I'm old. So I watched 21 Jump Street and loved it and watched it every week. And this was before it was, we had VCRs then. So you weren't, it's hard to, you could record stuff, but it sucked. And I love many Johnny Depp movies. I'm not going to automatically think somebody is guilty or innocent. Thank you, Natalie, for sending me that article. Um, um, I'm not by whether I like them or not in TV and movies and such. Um, Sorry, my phone's just going crazy. So I'm going by what we see in court, and I just really, 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 there's going to be anything that, unless there is video of him just wailing on her, for me to think that he's physically abused this woman. I understand emotional abuse because that's what I dealt with in mental abuse. That was my first marriage. And realize how bad it was. It's like the longer I've been separated now from that, the more my eyes are being opened to just how abused I was and I didn't know it. Um, but I don't emotionally abused her either. She's the abuser. And he's just don't, just trying to drink it away. I just don't see it that way. And I think her op-ed absolutely was for her because look at what happened to her. Aquaman. Would she have gotten Aquaman if she wasn't being looked at as a victim of the Me Too movement? I don't know. I do think not in court because uh, I don't think she looks good in court. Um, but I've seen her in movies and she looks very beautiful. Um, I think her acting seems decent, so as an actor, she's just fine. As a person, she's horrible. And she had a wife when she met Johnny, and she abused the wife. And Johnny has been in several relationships, no abuse. And yes, Kyle's the one instance of when they're saying he headbutt her, and it's because he's restraining her and you accidentally. And I don't blame a dude for if a girl is, I don't care if her hand is closed or open, but if a girl's hitting you, you've got every right to bear hug them and to try and restrain them from hitting you. Just because the woman is hitting a man doesn't give her the right to hurt you. So you should and walk away, walk away. Well, look at all the times he's trying to walk away. So grabbing her to try and stop her from being violent, and in that kind of scuffle, his head hits her head. That's not him being violent. And then the whole thing about the cell phone, um, he throws the cell phone in anger. If it hit her in the face, whatever, um, it's an accident. Same thing for me to be 100 here would be her cutting off his finger. If she took the bottle and she was like, "Ugh," on his hand and his fingertip came off, well, then I'd go, this was, but if she's just throwing a bottle and then it cut his finger off, she's still wrong because she's being violent in it, but it's not like she's chopping his finger off. So, same thing with the cell phone for Johnny Depp. He's throwing the phone in anger, and if it hit her in the face, he's still wrong to be throwing something at her, but it's not his phone going, you knock it off. Oh my God, Christopher's probably going to use that now in a picture. Because if you look at what Christopher posts, uh, Facebook pages for when we're going to go live, he's like freeze frame, find me in the weirdest facial expressions. So it cracks me up on what will he find next. Um, 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 where she was had him was difficult for us, so I can imagine how bad it must have felt. Yeah. Um, Yeah, he's trying to get away from her and she's trying to get around the door. He pushed the door, jammed her toes at the door, and hit her head. And oh yeah, nothing there either. Um, I know. Jason Momoa though is an Aquaman. Have they filmed that already with her in it? Because if not, yeah, get rid of her. Because Jason Momoa. Yeah. Hi Jeff, if my husband's watching. Um, she admits to hitting him around the door. This is not the headbutt incident, but there is audio of him apologizing to her for jamming her toes and hitting her head. Yeah, again, that's incidental. If he's trying to get away and she's forcing her way in and you get hurt, that's on her. Throwing something across the room, that's your fault that you threw it. So Johnny throwing the phone is his fault, but it's not in the context that Amber's people want to put it. Just like her chopping off his fingertip is not, if she's this bad, she throwing a thing across the room, it's not as bad. I don't know how long this trial's going to take. So I'm sure we're going to have to do another live about it because there's going to be much, much more to discuss. And like I said, I am freaking obsessed with the case. And um, so I like have it on while I'm home and I'm like playing solitaire on my iPad while I'm listening. When they read the other uses for your throat that don't include injury. Um, that was funny too. When every time, the Amber's male attorney would read something and then say to Johnny, "Did I read that correctly? You're doing a great job. You did. You read that correctly. Good job, mate." You know, just uh, but that attorney is trying to bait Johnny. They want him to get angry. So I'm sure Johnny's been well prepped, but keep it loose. But I mean, he's off the stand now. You continue to read them correctly. Yeah. Uh, so I'm surprised. I don't know why I'm surprised at how smart and witty Johnny Depp was when he was on the stand. Um, but he just even today when the cameras are showing him when he's laughing, when the guy is, the guy from is talking, it's like I like seeing that he just seems normal guy, reacting like we're all reacting to the same thing. But then when they show Amber, I mean, talk about Nurse Ratchet, or resting bitch face, whatever. But it's like, ooh, she looks mean, so she's totally given off the vibe that Johnny's side is portraying, anything like how Amber's side is trying to show him. You know, when they were talking about the island and really trying to focus on Johnny is passed out face down on the beach. Does anybody care? Do any of you care? Does that make you think that Johnny, somebody who's passed out in the sand face down, is then beating the crap out of somebody? It's doing whatever drink or drug and going to sleep. And I will say too, going back to the whole fingertip thing, manage bands, music is something important to my life. I could see how awful that would be to somebody who plays the guitar to lose a fingertip. I don't care which hand it is, the fret side or the other side, other hand. Um, it's horrible. Um, nanu nanu. Yeah, because it reminded me of Veruca Assault. I want an Oompa Loompa now, Daddy. Pouty face. Done work. Normal Tuesday. Yep. uh, so yeah, I'm going to have so much to talk about this case as it goes on. I have scheduled, already made it for next week's live on Wednesday at 1. We're going to talk about Stephen's case because we haven't talked about Stephen's case for a little bit. And, that's the number one thing. Oh, I should show you. Okay. I have written a book. Oh my God, pop-ups, get off my screen here. I've written a book about my experience with the Stephen Avery case. Here it is. And a friend of mine who has been an editor has had my for almost a year. And I keep asking her, when are you going to be done with my book? When are you going to be done with my book? And so this Sunday, she now brought it to me because I had sent it to her. I have it electronically. It's typed up here on this computer. But she's like, I need a printed copy. So luckily my husband owns a print shop. So my husband printed it. So I mean it's big printer side. And this is not the cover. My husband just put something on there. But see where the post-it note is? That's how far she got. So she's a little more than halfway done. And so what she's done is she totally school teachered me. And so there's red marks all over things that I have to correct. Ooh, picture of sweaty sweat sweat. And so all the things she wants me to edit are so like, okay, let me show you this one. I don't know if you can see since that font is so anywhere I've got the and symbol, she wants me to write out the whole word and. So those are marked a lot. Anywhere I have a contraction, so right here, so the light gets it. It says he wasn't. She wants me to change it to would not or won't be is what she's got in there. Then anytime I have initials like SA for Stephen Avery, she wants me to write out the whole word. And things like that. So Kaluzinski. So I'll have to get back to work on this. And how I ended up writing this book was I had to treat it like a job and sit here on the computer from one point to one, from this time to this time I'm writing. So that's what I'll do to get the editing finished. Nanu, I meant to ask you, hope you don't mind. I'm going over to the USA this summer and I'm thinking of taking a drive to some Stephen Avery locations. Is it safe enough to just drive up to Cuss Road for a look? It absolutely is. You can go to Cuss Road. If you go into the, what is it called on YouTube? Are they files? I don't know. Channels. Um, you may be able to find in here videos because I've gone to Cuss Road a bunch of times. So there's videos in here, I think, on YouTube from my drive around Manitowoc, and then on our Facebook stuff. So MAM Gossip is when we take um, um, field trips, all in MAM Gossip. So you absolutely can go to any of the locations, including the salvage yard. Anybody except for me. The family welcomes if you go knocking on the door at the salvage yard, and so they will try to get your money. Um, so yeah. But we'll talk more about that stuff next week. I don't want to drag this out because um I want to get back to the trial. So we'll talk about that Stephen Avery stuff next week and discuss my book. Let me end on Melissa Kaluzinski because I always have to. I visited her on Monday. Um and I gave her because she had told me that to, yeah, she graduated high school and everything, but she's like, she just wants to brush up on some things. And so she thought it would be best to get some GED books. And I had meant because he's busy with work, but Bryce had seen it. And so then he told me that he wanted to buy her GED books. And so he sent them to me. And then I brought them to the prison and the prison accepted them because I never know for sure what they're going to kick out or not. Um, so she was very happy to get those books. And I told her to let me know if those books cover all the things to talk about or talk about, wants to read about. And if there's anything else she wants to let me know, because there were other people that reached out saying they would like to get her GED books. But Melissa behaves and follows the rules in prison. In your cell, room, whatever you want to call it, you're supposed to be able to fit all of your belongings in a box. I don't know the size of the box. I think it's just like your typical banker's box. And I do think they let you have two boxes, food, and so you don't have to combine the two. Melissa, and your stuff's not supposed to be out in your cell. They're supposed to be. Melissa can fit all her stuff in a box. She follows the rules. So she doesn't want a whole lot of extra books because then she needs to either pay to ship it to her parents' house when, to keep it where stuff should be, or when somebody goes to visit her, you can take, the stuff home. So if she tells me she needs or wants some other books, I'll let y'all know. She told me she is trying to get back into drawing, and I'm so annoyed. Where the hell do I have? I always thought I kept it right here where it was easy to find the drawings of butterflies. Um, she says she's drawing a picture for my husband and I. She's drawing her. And she's like, "Do you like wolves?" And it's like, "Well, sure. I love all different kinds of animals." So, and she does want me whenever she's done with, she wants me to post it. She said she sent something to her parents recently. I don't know how recently. I know she's talked to me about it. And she's so shocked that they haven't shared it on Facebook. One, her mom is not on social media or even the internet. So it would never come from her mom. It would come from her dad. And I don't think her dad is capable of also doing those kinds of things. So I said the next time I'm with her dad, I'll have him bring me the picture so I can snap a picture of it and post it. Or maybe her sister um maybe Crystal could get a picture of it and text it to me, because I know Crystal's not really on social media much either, but she could text it to me. I don't know, but Melissa would like to share that, because that's a thing when you draw stuff and you work hard on it, you want other people to see it too. So whenever, I don't she didn't say when the wolf thing was going to get done, but when it's done and she sends it to me, I'll share it with y'all. um I did not spoil her with chocolate, which was supposed to be the whole purpose of the visit. She's chocolate already. Um, she had had a Nutty Buddy and chocolate chip cookies. I'm like, to me, that doesn't count as chocolate. But I know when she's being the good Catholic girl and you're giving up chocolate for Lent, a chocolate chip cookie would apply. But I'm like, I don't count that. um, and chocolate's like my favorite food group. Um, the only chocolate I got her was, what did she get? A Hershey bar with almonds. One thing. One. And then I had gotten a Nestle Crunch bar. And I'm like, you want some of this? And she's like, no, I got one back in my room. I'm saving it. And again, how not spoiled this girl is. That it's all this chocolate, or missing chocolate. And then it's like, have some of mine, because I don't need it. I'll eat it. But and she's like, nope, I've got one. I'm saving it. So she got, just like on last visit, she got the egg McMuffin like thing, and then a pizza, but it's one of those little pizzas, a meat lover's pizza, and her cherry Pepsi. One candy bar. She's not even trying, man. I eat way. um, but she's doing as well as can be expected. She keeps hoping she's going home and that there's going to be news right around the corner made from beans. I'm going to use that. Ah, um, so we're just hopeful that something will happen for Melissa soon. It's been 13 years, so I don't know when I'm visiting her next, because I did go see her twice this month. Her parents, um, I, I have to talk to her parents and find out when they're going next. They never want to go like Mother's Day weekend because that's always really busy. So, and, and then I'll schedule mine after that some point. So, oh, and Christopher wants me to start doing like a Melissa's Corner, and where y'all could ask questions about Melissa, not about her case, and, just general questions and such. And I can have Melissa answer them. I forgot to that on the visit because we had a lot to cover. There was a lot of stuff we were talking about. So, but that's something we will be doing. And then Christopher wanted me to, I never remember this stuff. So we're doing some sticker pack, for, so all the people who subscribe, somebody's going to be drawn at random and will win a pack of these stickers. And so Christopher says at next week's live, we're picking the winner, a winner. It'll probably happen again because my husband owns a print shop. I kind of, so there's the Justice Switch back there. I keep meaning to talk to Jeff that I want a different logo. Let's Lap Barb. Guessing is not confessing. Free Stephen Avery. Free Brendan Dassey. Don't get strange. We all live on Avery Road. Vagina Bat does what Vagina Bat wants. And justice for Melissa. I know. Always want to slap Barb. And write an op-ed about it. Should introduce her to Amber. And also, I've been being texted like crazy, so I have to see what drama's going on there. So I'll talk about Stephen case, and we'll talk about my book. We'll see how much work I've gotten done on my book by then. So we'll talk about Stephen, or you never know if we'll go live earlier than that, because we're still waiting. That Kathleen Zellner had made a post saying that she was filing something for Stephen, and that was before Easter, and we still haven't seen anything. So as soon as that happens, we go live that day that we're able to get our hands on the filing and read that. So maybe you'll see us before Wednesday. I would hope so, because I don't want anything in Stephen's case ever delayed ever. So I get all these people home. So we'll talk about Stephen. We'll talk we'll draw for the stickers. We'll probably talk about the Johnny Depp case. So oh my gosh, I really got to see what's going on there. So, all right, I'm out. Going back to the case. Go to Justice with Jax. We've got the public page, and then there's the closed group. The difference between a public page and a closed group, it like goes off to the side, and you don't see it, and it just gets lost there. So that's why I like to have a group too. So then when visitors post things, it stays there, and when somebody comments on it, it boots it back up. So please feel free, go in the Justice with Jax group and start giving me all your thoughts on the Johnny Depp case, and any case, any wrongful conviction, any true crime, anything. We can talk about it all. So go in there and do that. Oh, and I guess I should also say, I'm in Facebook trouble again, where Facebook's punishing me for some unknown reason, not letting me make Facebook events. And so Christopher is the one that always makes our events that are on Stephen Avery Project and Justice with Jax. And I also have an activist page, and I'm having an event with a whole bunch of politicians, and I need an actual event made. So I'm like, all right, Christopher, I'm going to make you a moderator of this page so you can make the event for me, because it still won't let me make it. And now Christopher's been put in Facebook jail, or Facebook restriction, because you can still be on Facebook and do everything but make a freaking event. So if you don't next Wednesday, it's because we're still in trouble and Facebook isn't allowing us to make events. But we'll link to the video over here on YouTube for, so, and Christopher always does the reminders. If he's not busy doing it, he tries to give you a 1 hour warning too. But that's why here on YouTube, you're supposed to subscribe and then hit some bell thing. And then hopefully you get a notification of when we go live. I'm still thinking about beans being chocolate, and so it's a salad with my eating. So maybe tonight I'm going to have a salad. All right, I'm going. I got to get back to court. So thank you, everybody, for joining me. Investigation always continues.